Alright guys, it was finally time to upgrade. Went to Harbor Freight and got the new Titanium Mig 170 welder. The old jalopy just wasn't doing it anymore. We had it all rigged up with zip ties for the wire feed tensioner and all kinds of good stuff. The plastic wire feeder melted a long time ago and had a bad gas leak, which we could have fixed. It just needed to be re-zip tied, but not zip tied, hose clamped. And but it was time. That thing is 10 years old. Did enough. Time to get something new. So first impressions are the ground clamp and the torch are not that great. The ground clamp's whatever, but I think it could be a little better, but it's whatever. The torch, I don't mind it, besides the fact that the nozzle isn't threaded. It's got a spring on it. Alright guys, so this is what I mean when I say that it's not threaded. It looks like it's threaded, but actually a spring goes in there. I made this one because the one that came with it was junk. A spring actually threads that and just creates the tension. It doesn't actually, the nozzle itself doesn't thread onto that part, which is kind of goofy in my opinion, but whatever. I don't like that because I already had an issue with it, but besides that, whatever. And this plastic piece that's back here broke on the first day, so I just taped it up, but whatever. So it's got your basic wire feed, volts, and then this third one is inductance, which I really have no clue what it does. I asked a couple people and they don't really know. Either way. And then this here is 2T and 4T, which is basically 2T is just your typical weld. You pull the trigger until you want to stop. 4T is you pull the trigger, basically tap it to initiate the weld, and then you are off the trigger the whole time, and then you tap it again when you want to end the weld. A little weird. I guess if you're doing like a super long pass, it would make sense, but I don't know. It came with 240 to 120 adapter plug. Pretty cool. I don't know if I'll ever need to use it on 120, but it's good to have the option. Comes with a regulator, cheapy one, but it's not too bad. I like that the gas line is like a braided line with fittings on the end. Like I said, the last welder we had was literally just a hose clamp on the port onto the welder, which was obviously not the best option. The rubber goes bad after a while. Here is the wire feed system. They give you a 1 pound spool of solid wire and a 1 pound spool of flux core. I like that this is a cast aluminum unit. I mean it could crack, but I don't think it will. Much better than the plastic one in the Lincoln. And it is adaptable to spool gun, so I can actually hook a spool gun up to this. I'm not exactly sure how, but I think it can definitely be done. They give you all the setting recommendations and all that. It's basically only rated up to 1/4 inch, but that's fine for me. I'm not doing anything bigger than that. And then there is a adapter for the big 11 pound spool, which is what I'll be buying next, because 1 and 2 pound spools are just a joke. Alright, well, I guess let's turn this bad boy on, and it helps if you plug it in. Turn this thing on and do some welding. Here's a couple welds from last weekend when I first got it. This one here is my friend who went to welding school, and all these two are me, which, as you can tell, aren't as nice, but it's alright. I didn't go to school. Alright, so plug this in, get it turned on, turn the gas on, and get to it. So I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it actually has, I think it has pre and post flow gas feed. So that's good for the weld. It makes it, you know, gives it a better shielding atmosphere for the weld. You know, my welds aren't the greatest, but they stick. The machine overall is pretty good. I got it set at 20 volts and 295 wire speed. That's kind of the machine at our work, at mine and my buddy's work. It's a big Lincoln MIG welder, and that's usually around what we have it set at. The only thing I don't like is this cable, this torch lead is already like twisted. Like, feels like no matter which way I go, it's twisted. But it's alright. Like I said, I'll probably get a new torch eventually anyway. I guess we'll give the 4T setting a shot, see what that's all about. Like I said, I've never really used that before, but we'll see what's up. Try and push this back, and then set you guys up to watch this. Alright. That's pretty interesting. It's just weird not pulling the trigger, holding the trigger the whole time, but what else did I want to show you guys? I forget. Can't remember. Alright guys, we'll do one more weld, regular style, and that'll probably be it. Not the greatest. Alright, let's try this once more with the good helmet. Alright, I was literally doing that all blind, basically. I could barely see out of this other helmet. But I think that probably came out good using the auto darkening. This is actually the new helmet, the new Vulcan helmet that I bought. I'll probably do a review on that also, actually. But, alright, that's it. You guys saw enough. You're probably blind by now or had a seizure. Alright guys, so overall, I think it welds good. As some of you guys probably watching this video are new here, you guys came here from Bert's channel. He welded up his the exhaust on that exterior yesterday. Like, with rusty, dirty, thin metal like that, you gotta really turn it down. Originally I had it set at this setting for like good thick metal, and I think he was blowing through a lot. But once we turned it down, he kind of realized that it wasn't so bad. It is an inverter machine, which I don't really know much about, so I can't say much about them, but from my understanding, usually an inverter machine will not last as long as a transformer machine like the Lincoln. But this thing was 450 bucks, so if it only lasts me a few years, it's really not the end of the world. I won't be too upset about it. I mostly bought this thing just to finish all the welding on the Brat. I wanted to have a good welder here that I didn't feel bad about using and abusing. That one was not necessarily a good welder. The wire feed was really messed up. It really struggled to do overhead and any kind of like vertical welding. It was only really good in a regular position like this, whereas yesterday, as you guys saw, Bert was doing overhead type welding on the exhaust, and this thing did fine. So this is basically just what I needed. There isn't a ton of welding left to do on this. Well, there kind of is, but either way, some of the welds on this were just terrible because of that, and the other welder we had, the solar, was just really bad. Anyway, as far as this thing, I give it like a 4 out of 5 initial review. If the torch was better with a threaded design, I would much more prefer that. The ground, like I said, it's so-so. It's whatever. I can always just get a new ground clamp. Not a big deal. Overall, I think it's pretty good. I haven't done anything crazy thick with it yet, or anything crazy thin, but I think it'll do good. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Any criticism is appreciated, and thanks for watching. Hope you come back for more.